worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Well, don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit you, Ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Could be worse, you know.
Hard to see how.
You could be a dwarf, for starters.
Buying or selling? Capital. Good luck to you.
Divine order to march against
Woke up this morning in sweat. Can't get that thing in my mind.
You made it back, safe and sound. That's all you gotta think about right now.
Easier said than done, Ada. Divinity will protect against cold blood. I can turn it fire, cold.
Got word from the factory that another boat went down. Things ain't looking good.
Yeah.
War's a brewing special prices. War is hell, my friend, but it's very good for
Doubt
business.
it. Now
Good luck
they've
to you.
got that hellacious general in charge. What do they call her? The axe?
The hammer. Hope you're wrong. Time will tell, I suppose. For insubordination!
Woke up this morning in sweat. Can't get that thing in my mind.
You made it back, safe and sound. That's all you gotta think about right now.
Easier said than done.
Buying or selling? Capital. Good luck to you.
Could be worse, you know.
Hard to see how.
You could be a dwarf, for starters.
Buying or selling? Capital. Good luck to you.
Woke up this morning in sweat. Can't get that thing.
You made it back, safe and sound. That's all you gotta think about right now. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Divine order to march against the ancient empire! Latest news! Fresh from the war owl! Here, many a latest, my friend. The war, the bishop, the queen. What tickles your fancy? Ain't looking too good for them lizards. Word is, the divine... You remember what happened to the elves, don't ya? Ain't no one left standing when you treat him to death, Frog. Seven save us. Stabbed in the back he was, by them vile, low-kill-em-all, I say. Do 'em like Magister Raymond did old Lady Siva. That, I mean, they doomed us all, didn't they? The son of the divine is dead. Gone. Who'll save us now? Jolly Justinia, Queen of the Dwarves. Here's 20 or so noble gentlemen. No one knows what they did wrong, if anything, and she has them stripped and whipped all the way to the execution grounds. Didn't even. You ask me, and I say she's mad as a mink with its tail on fire. Queen...
East, Marketplace. West, Driftwood Fishworks.
Bellwether, I need those reports,
sir.
damn it.
Right away.
The Magister startles, realizing there's a stranger in his midst.
What do you want? You can't just come in here as you please. There's Magisters missing. I'm trying to conduct a bloody investigation. Well, mind your bloody step in future. I've an investigation to carry out, and I don't need any more distraction. Yes, a vile little tinkerer goes by the name of Higba. 3 of my Magisters have gone missing of late from right here in Driftwood. All signs are that Higba is responsible. Catching, killing, I don't care. There'll be gold for whoever puts an end to this. If you see anything, tell me or my men at once. Otherwise, keep the hell out of our way. Well, do you know anything? Stop wasting my time, then. Well, stop wasting my time, then.
Oh great, a citizen. Can't you see I'm on a break here? What? Oh no. Poor Demori. Go tell Magister Raymond or Magister Julian immediately. They'll raise the alert. Go. Again? Seriously?
Of course, sir. Right away.
Varwint, would you have me die of thirst? Fill my damn cup.
The Magister's jaw is tightly clenched as he stares out of the window.
What? Well, do you know anything? Stop wasting my time, then. Those tinkerers all look the same. Scruffy, gold-hungry, sly wretches. This one has a grey beard and a dark when, not if. And you'll see for yourself in time. We'll make all of Driftwood come and see what happens to those who conspire against us. Desertions? What do you know about desertions? This miserable town has too many gossip mongers. But they're right, we have had... But they slip away in the night, taking supplies. Cowards and traitors, all of them. I'm looking for loyal Magisters.
Let it be known henceforth to each and every subject here and everywhere that in the absence of our beloved Alexander, Bishop Divine, slain with as were let fly by the perfidious lizards of the ancient empire, with the aid and abetting the divine order of Lucian is now led by his son's most Dallas, Hammer of the Divine, Saviour of the Sword. The Hammer shall take counsel from Hail to the Hammer. 7
Dallas leads the order.
Lucian will be rolling in his grave.
The dead don't care. It's the living who should be fearful.
Don't let up now. Keep hauling that cargo. That's it. The barrels and the chests on the double. Go on, you mute sacks of flesh. Put your backs into it. The Lord Dread awaits. Its sails billow with...
The Magister stops, barking orders. He sniffs the air like a predator, turns to face you, the wolf eyeing the deer.
You do not get to make that decision. That decision is mine. A good day? Let's talk about a good day. Tell me, have you ever been strung up by the hands? Your body swinging like a bell's clapper as your bones are being broken with cast iron rods? Ah, you've met with what's left of Siva, have you? I'm so very glad you're familiar.
He licks his lips. Dry flesh turns wet.
See, I'd like to string you up too. Rack you with rods and leave you dangling over a puddle of your own blood and piss. My favorite one. I'm very good at what I do, see? I don't even need a sauce hound yapping by my side. There was a whiff of something in the air when you approached. A current of filth. That is to say, sauce. Best convince me I was mistaken.
He leans in closer and sniffs the air once more.
Interesting. So I was mistaken. Must have been ambition I smelled on you, not the magic that dare not speak its name. Very well. In that case, we'll forego the gallows and turn straight to the hunt. The very definition of your order's existence. Seems peaceful here, doesn't it? A quiet day in a quiet town. One wouldn't think these drifting woods toss on dwarf trouble, but they do. Consider for a moment the dwarf. What is he? A mule, a beast of burden. But some defy that role. There are rats. I've need of a rat catcher. Of course. I must depart post-haste, but Julian here will stay behind and be a good little pat.
Stay behind? But I've my orders. Same as you.
Dallas. Like I said, Julian is staying. And with that, I must be off. No hard feelings about the death threats, of course. How about we part shaking hands instead of stringing them up? How very heartwarming. One last thing. The Magisters here are diligent men and women. A stranger like you, should this happen, just wave this piece of parchment in their eager little faces. My signature will placate them without fail, I assure you. Adieu and good luck. The Lord Dread awaits. The use of the gallows, I pass on to you.
The time has come, my stitched-lipped lovelies. We set sail. Get on board and man your stations.
Left behind like a dog. Blah. 7 curses upon that ship.
The Magister is rubbing the dirt off his robes, none the worse for wear, apparently, from the blast of magic that knocked him off his feet.
You! The supposed source hunter! I'd be whining and dining aboard the Lord Dread if it weren't for you. Your meddling in Magister affairs had better be worth it. Yes, I am very much aware. Wasn't my damned head that hit the floor back there. Now answer me. Did you meet with a Magister caravan on your way into town? The hour's growing late and I'm beginning to worry something might have gone wrong. By the Bishop's bones, you saw it? Out with it, man. What happened? Void woken? That means source was used. Which means some third party must have attacked first. Raymond, that old goat, always suspecting there's more to the Driftwood Dwarves than meets the eye. Hate to admit it, but I think he may be right. Too many things have gone wrong along Reaper's Coast to attribute to bad luck. Magister ships sinking, weapons disappearing, and as you've seen, a caravan. Rumour has it the Dwarvian Queen herself is behind these acts of sabotage. That is what I want you to prove. They've always been snakes in the grass. Cheap labour, sure. And hard workers, too. Half of them are their queens. Queen Justinia will stop at nothing. She's a tyrant and a master strategist to boot. There's a local thug, Lohar. He runs an operation out of his hideout beneath the Black Bull Tavern. I suspect this man of being a spy. It may be interesting to have a word with him. Find out what he's up to. But where I really want you to ferret around is Reaper's Bluffs. To the east, it's wild territory, remote and hostile, where I believe the dwarves may have set up a base of operation. Should you find any such place, and better yet, proof that Lohar is working in behalf of Queen Justinia, you will be handsomely rewarded, I assure you. In that case, go forth and let the hunt commence!
Hello, mister.
The little boy looks at you. He picks his nose.
You be careful. My daddy's a magister. No, he's not. His daddy's a fisherman like most daddies round here. We were waiting for our friend. He went for a swim. He'll be back soon. He went swimming all the way to Fort Happy. Fort Joy? That's what I said. Fort Joy. He's gonna find his mum and bring her back. That's right. I think he's an idiot. And when he gets back, I'm going to tell him. Hello, mister.
The little boy beside her looks at you.
We're waiting for Joe.
Woke up this morning in a
Hello, mister.
The little boy beside...
We're waiting for Joe. Joe's mum smells
Made
nice.
it back safe and sound. That's all you gotta think about right now.
easier said than done, Ada.
Hackles raised, the dog barks at the sand built up beneath the building.
There's something not right, and that's wrong. It's under the house thing there, and it's bad. I can smell it. Not like this. This smells real bad.
Yeah,
Yes.
Hackles raised. The dog stares at a spot.
I don't want to go to court, smelly
You,
lizard.
stranger! What are you doing here? Good. This town has enough problems. Tell me, have you seen a man around here? Grey beard, grey cloak, a look of madness in his eyes. Damien, take it all. Where is the snake? Magister Carver will have our heads if we don't find him. It's vital that you report anything unusual. We must know. Is that clear? He arrived in Driftwood some days ago, dressed as a tinkerer. He bought and sold a few knickknacks. But we thought nothing of it until our brothers started vanishing. As soon as he knew we were onto him, he ran. We think he's now. Be on your way. Who knows where he...
I don't care if we tear this place apart plank by plank. We will find him.
You've been warned, Barnes. Now get out of my sight.
The Magister turns, and his eyes fall on you.
There's a sorcerer somewhere in this worm-ridden dump. Have you seen him? Grey cloak, grey beard, satchel of books. Lucian's teeth. Where is that runt? If you see anything suspicious, anything at all, report it immediately. He's a sorcerer dressed as a tinkerer. Our brothers started vanishing as soon as he fled into this stinking shed. But we'll find him again. We'll have our justice.
The Magister's eyes flick to a nearby pile of fish, and he moves off to investigate.
Bugger off, I'm busy. Grisha's still the favourite.
If any of you see so much as
If
a
I
rat's
bet
hair
against
out
him,
of
I
place,
could win
you
big.
tell the Magisters.
Or lose it all.
Then we can get them out, and you can get back to work.
Still no sign. I'll flush the rat out. So, report. Did you find anything? Lucian's teeth. If you see anything suspicious, anything at all, report it immediately. Do you understand?
The dog sniffs the wooden decking, like there's something wrong.
Something's wrong. Something's wrong, and it's not... I don't know, but there's something wrong, and it's underneath the floor. Be careful down there, missus. You're not smelling what I'm smelling.
You'd swear the shark was smiling at you. The dwarf reaches into a barrel and pulls out a fish. His knife glides, the innards fall to the floor, landing in a pool of dark bile. You'd expect fish to smell, but these reek.
Aye, the coin's sweet, and the smell sure ain't. Mind you, the boss found a buyer for this lot, so my knife stays sharp and my pockets stay full.
He runs his knife through another fish and flicks the blade, sending a shower of guts.
I'd say your guess is as good as mine. Except I got the sense not to ask any questions. Now why don't you march on? I ain't been paid to wag me...
The dwarf turns back to his work, slicing and disemboweling fish after fish, as the blood and black bile mix and swirl around his boots. Looking at the barrel, you see that someone has scrawled Black House on it in paint. You cast your eyes around to see that every barrel headed to Arks has the same inscription.
Here, leave them barrels alone. I told you to take a hike, so scram!
The dwarf peers at an expertly dissected fish, gently poking its...
Fascinating. Oh, my... I mean, no, what do you want? I'm gutting fish. What else? Nothing wrong with taking pride in your work.
The dwarf grimaces and points the tip of his knife at his handiwork.
Whatever's wrong with these fish is causing a lot of hardship for a lot of folk. I want to figure out what's happening to them, see if there's anything that can be done. Yes, as it happens. I need to see the effects of eating these fish, firsthand, if you understand me. Do as I ask, and you'll be amply rewarded, I guarantee you. Well, on your way then. I need to concentrate here.
Get them out, and you can get back to work.
What? You been needing something from me, lad? Ain't much inclined to rub elbows with humans, if you catch my drift. Ain't no one been standing together since Lucian died. Ain't been no goodwill among your kind, or mine, or anyone else's since the Reds have been in charge. Glad to hear you say it. The day will come we'll overthrow 'em, you mark my words. Until then, I'll practice the art of gutting unspoiled fish. Fugitive? Ah, yeah. I don't think that's something I should be discussing with strangers. Because I don't intend to end up with me lips stitched together, that's why. No, no, I shan't be baited. I ain't saying nothing on the topic no more. Godspeed, buggered fine. I'll tell you all I know.
The dwarf leans in and begins whispering conspiratorially.
This fella runs along, right? Sweating, panicking. Red's racing after him like hunting hounds. Hide in a barrel, you fool, I yelled. And what do you know? He did. Problem is, he's still in there. Been hours. Can't go nowhere, he can't, not with the Reds around.
rat's hair out of place. You tell the magisters. Then you can get them out, and you can get back to work.
You see a man, well-fed and wealthy, but stress has lined his face and narrowed. He tries to ignore your presence, fails.
See here. I'm very busy. The factory is crawling with magisters, and our shipments to Arks are held up. Time is money. Don't waste my money. What do you want? Fish. This is a fish factory. I'm shipping fish to Arks. Now, please, there's the door. I suggest you use it. When you've been in business as long as I have, you learn that there's a market for everything. You just have to find it. Or...
A dark shadow passes across his face.
sometimes it finds you. That's privileged information. I have a trade to protect. An excellent point. Well made. The answer to your question is, unsurprisingly, a man in a house. A man in a house buys all the void-tainted fish I can send him.
That dark shadow crosses his face once more. He shivers.
Not that I've ever met the man. Not sure I want to, if I'm honest. When you've been in business as long as I have, you learn not to question these things too closely. Now, I'll get back to my work, and I suggest you get...
He glances up, recognizes you.
I'm busy. Goodbye.
He glances up, recognizes you.
I'm busy. Good... If any of you see so much as a rat's hair out of place, you tell the magisters. Then we can get them out, and you can get back to work. If any of you see so much as a rat's hair out of place, you tell the magisters. Then we can get them out, and you can get back to work.
Dallas, get her!
You're dead, Alexander. Alexander, you're dead. You have to stay dead until we say you're...
Here, mister. Alexander doesn't have to stay dead, does he?
The three kids stare at the collar in awe. Then they stare at you in even greater awe.
Is that real? Yeah, it's real. I seen the one they put on Joe's mum before she got sent to Fort
A real source collar. This is the best day of my life. Come here, sorcerer. I'm going to put a stop to your shenanigans.
The sorcerer screams and runs away. Dallas and Alexander in hot pursuit, all three
Then we can get them out, and you can get back to work.
A fisherman stares at the water, muttering to himself.
The missus will kill me. She'll tear me a new mouth halfway down my neck. Fish will bite, all right. Not that you'd eat one. I've got a worse problem than that. Way, way worse. I've gone and dropped my wedding ring in the water. I was casting a line and I cast me bloody wedding ring instead. Guess my fingers aren't as fat as they used to be. I could do that, I could. But seeing as the ring has a bit of sauce to it, like as not, going in there will attract Voidwoken. All things equal, between an angry wife and Voidwoken, I'm leaning towards the wife. Just a hint, nothing that concerned a Magister, made me feel that little bit more confident in myself. Maybe it was all in my head, but I felt like the ring made me more attractive. I wouldn't do the dirt or anything, but it's good for the ego. Keeps the wife on her toes, too. I'm not asking you to risk your life on account of me and my marital woes, but if you fancy a paddle, you can go right ahead.
I've spotted something.
To arms!
A horrified fisherman stares at the water.
That was terrifying. I need to get myself a new line of work. Something as far away from the water as I can go. Goat herd. If the missus will go for it, of course. She likes the beach.
A horrified fisherman stares at...
That was terrifying. If the missus will go for it, of course. She likes the beach. You found it! How wonderful! The wife will be thrilled. Or she would if she ever found out about this, which of course she won't. I can't thank you enough.
His eyes narrow.
I'm not sure I understand what you're trying to say. Here, take the last of my gold as a token of my thanks.
His eyes widen as he realizes what you're doing.
Oh, that's just bloody lovely, that is. I hope you die of a long and horrible disease involving lots of pain and an appalling odour. Goddamn, Lucian's bones. The wife's gonna kill... Wishing you a better day than mine, stranger.
Something got your attention, boy? Must have picked up some sauce.
Picked up some sauce.
Picked
What
up
is
a
it,
scent,
boy?
did you? Must have picked up some
Picked up
sauce.
some sauce.
Halt! The hounds smell sauce on you. Plenty of it, by the sound of them. Haven't got a collar for you. Damn it. I'm sorry, but I can't let you leave. Hounds, at the ready. Fine, fine. Do all the gallivanting you want. But if a hand goes snapping at your heels, I'm looking the other way.
I sense sauce on you.
I sense sauce.
Creeping little flies. Go back! Get out of my realm! Twinkling little worms.
You wriggling little worms.
as black as obsidian.
What am I doing here? I thought I was in the cave.
The dwarf looks around in confusion, quietly talking to itself. It seems oblivious to you.
Oh, what was that voice? It wouldn't stop. It was like razors in my brain. I can't.
Whatever happened here was a massacre.
Persistent little flies.
The dwarves do not seem to react. Indeed, the only response to your plea is the quiet...
Buzz back to your dung heap. Puss back to your dump. That.
Whatever is...
Creeping little flies. Go back! Get out of my realm!
Ambush!
You wriggling little worms.
voice. Indeed. As black as obsidian.
Oh, what was that voice? It was like, I can't...
The dwarf.
Later.